Hey guys, how's it going? So today was kind of brutal. I mean, not gonna lie, I dropped the ball on this one. I think kind of rushed it yesterday, so today we might just kind of slow down a little bit, figure out what went wrong today, and make the adjustments, um, and then go from there. I mean, I knew the board yesterday was kind of shitty, so probably the best play would have been just the pass, but I mean, we're all gamblers, so you know that we weren't gonna take a day off. You know, we're all degens. But anyway, let's just take a look at what happened and if it was preventable. So we're just gonna go straight out, take a look at the game. Landers, Giants. Obviously, we were on the Giants money line, but let's take a look at the game and see what happened. So right off the bat, it started rough. Looks like Lander scored in the first, scored another run in the third. The second inning, another 3 runs in the third. So that's like 5 runs right there by the third inning. And then another run in the fifth, and another run in the sixth. So that's like 7 runs right there. But the majority of the damage was here. The first 4 runs, I think they may have pulled the starter by the fifth inning. But what went wrong with this pick for this morning is this guy, Park Se-woong, the Giants pitcher. I'll be honest with you, I kind of dropped the ball on this one. I think all the red flags were there about him, but I think I just didn't want to see it because I think the Giants were, or the Landers were in a 4-game losing streak, you know. So, and I mean, everything was there if we just paid a little more attention. His season ERA is 4.87 and 1.48 WHIP, which is about, I mean, maybe average or a little bit, or maybe below average. But as I said yesterday, like, you just can't look at the ERA and the WHIP and call it a day. It's more to it than that. We should have looked a little deeper at his last two, maybe even probably not the third game, but at least the last two game. At his previous game versus KT, he gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, and a home run. I mean, didn't look bad. He looks pretty good here, but if you go back in his 30th versus the Bears, he gave up 5 runs, you know, 9 hits and a home run. So basically almost the same as what he did today against the Landers. So instead of just focus, like being having a tunnel vision on his season ERA at 4.87 and 1.4 WHIP, we kind of, even though this is from June 30th, that's his like 2 starts ago. I mean, if we had paid attention, we would have noticed that there is volatility with this guy. I mean, let's take a look at the full page. Yeah, now it just has this season, so that is actually makes this worse. So let's go back. But right here, we should have paid more attention to this right here. Going forward, I'm just going to have to slow down and pay more attention to the pitcher's last 2 starts. Even though, like, he had a lot of rest, what's his, like, 6/30th and 7/22. That's almost like a month, man. But we have to pay attention to his pitcher's volatility. And at 4.287, it's not that great. And and another red flag that we pointed out yesterday and kind of ignored is his win-loss record. Like 2-7 for the season. Like that's a red flag. I mean, but that is number one reason that we lost today. Another reason is Pedro Avila. I mean, I kind of like mentioned that he was the guy that killed us when we had when he played against the Kia Tigers. But I think this is his second start. I mean, Avila's. I think he was playing like last year in the MLB for the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, granted, he's a failed. Well, I mean, I guess you call him a failed MLB pitcher because he's not playing the MLB anymore, is he? But apparently, a failed MLB starting pitcher is still pretty good in the KBO. I mean, in my mind, I think that the KBO maybe around like the minor leagues or maybe a little bit less in skill wise. So, but I mean, I guess he's the real deal. Obviously, after today's game, his season ERA, 2 whopping games in KBO is 2.25 and a 0.83 whip. That's elite. You know, I know hindsight's 2020, but I mean, yesterday we only had like one game, I think, or it was against the Kia Tigers. But I mean, looking at the box score, he pretty much shut down a lot. I mean, first of all, there was a combination of two things: the collapse of the Lot Giants starting pitcher, and Avila doing his job and shutting out the Giants hitters until the 6th. I mean, he gave up. I think this probably. Well, I'm sure he probably was still pitching in the 6th inning, but I mean, he did enough early to shut them down, and he only gave up 3 runs. Looks like before probably the closer came in to get the job done, but you know, he did his job, shutting him down. So that was another red flag that we ignored. So kind of a self-inflicted wound right there. Could if I had to pay a little more attention, could I have made the call and taken the Landers? I probably, if I had to do it over again, and I paid a little more attention, I probably would have passed on this game, and to be totally honest, I probably would have still lost because I think we probably would have passed on the Samsung Lions game, which is kind of like almost the same as this situation with the I think kind of almost like rookie starter that was an unknown, and so but if we hadn't played the Lot Giants, we probably would have taken like the Kia Money Tigers run line, and so we still would have lost either way, you know, because I don't think there was any other team that I would have wagered if we had correctly identified the red flags for this game. I think our primary game would have been this, and the only playable option was probably the Tigers run line, and then I still would have lost. Full disclosure. So, all right, let's take a look at today's game and see if we can bounce back. So I think Eagles at Tigers, Dinos at Twins, Bears at Wiz, Landers at Giants. I think we had enough of this. I mean, two shitty teams, and then and like not. I mean, the especially with Alvin Rodriguez here pitching for the Giants, 4.29 ERA for the season with a 1.33 WHIP, but yeah, well, he isn't too bad, but yeah, and then I think another mediocre pitcher. So I think I had enough of the Giants and the Landers. I mean, this is a shit team going against another shit team. I think we learned our lesson, so we're just gonna pass on this one. Let's take a look at the Lions. Yeah, again, we got an unknown. I mean, well, I mean, let's take a look. His season year is not bad. The last two starts. Let me see. Well, he gave a 1 run, 6 hits, and a home run. So he didn't do too bad against the Giants. And then against the Landers, he gave up 3 runs, 7 hits. So he's actually pretty decent season long, and his recent form against looks like KT. He played at least 5 innings and 6 on the 28th, and only gave up 2 runs, so 1, 3, and 2 runs. So that's actually pretty decent. But the odds on this must be like over like minus 200 on the Lions if they're playing against the Heroes. Let's take a look. Yeah. So the only viable, play here would be the minus 1.5 run line. So that looks like the Dinos or Twins. We're skipping this one. I think the two games that I initially looked at was either KT Wiz or this game, and obviously from the title, you know what team we're taking, so there's no surprise. But I think let's take a look at the Bears at the Wiz just to see if there's anything interesting. So let's take a look at the Bears starting pitcher. Season ERA is 2.80 with a 1.18 WHIP above average, so that's pretty decent for the season. And his short-term ERA performance, on the 16th, he gave up 4 runs to the Dinos, 7 hits and 2 home runs. That's a pretty poor performance. And then against the Landers, he looks like he did pretty good. He went 7 innings, only giving up a run, 2 hits, and a home run. So that's not too bad. So he only gave up 1 run. So that's actually pretty decent performance. And then against the Lot Giants, our loser for today, he did pretty well with them. So this is actually a pretty decent pitcher against Logan Allen. Pretty good ERA and WHIP for the season. Looking at his recent performance against the Twins on the 16th, he gave up 1 run. And then back on the 8th versus the Heroes, he gave up 3 runs and 7 hits. So still not bad. And then against the Giants back on the 3rd, 2 runs, 6 hits. One of the runs was a home run, looks like. So not too bad. So we got two pretty decent starting pitchers. So this tells me this is gonna be a tight game, like a really like as close to a coin flip as we can get on the board. Let's take a look at the lines for that. So yeah, decent Bears. I mean, I can see that. Let's take a look at that again. Is it no? Why are they favored? Let's compare that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, I can see why the Doosan Bears are favored, but I think I'm probably leaning KT Wiz here, but let me see something on KBO model. Um, let's. I don't think we're gonna be waging this game. I just want to take a look at it, but this should be a pretty decent game. Very competitive. It's probably the two best teams on the board for the day, but whether it's good for wagering, I don't think so because probably could go either way. Stat wise or pitching wise, are leaning the Bears like the lines suggest. But let's take a look at the game of the day. So our good friend Kia Tigers at home against the Hanwha Eagles. What's odds on that? Tigers are the dogs at home, and then Eagles are the favorite -120. This is like almost yesterday, kind of, where the Giants were at home and they were the dog, and the sports book told us that the away team was the winning team. Kind of like a feeling of deja vu. It's almost like they're telling us something's going on here. Because I mean, we were on a good winning streak with the Tigers all week, and the books know that. And then for Thursday, they're dogs. Like it's like they're begging us to please take the Tigers. You know, which means that if we were to play a contrarian, the play would be the Eagles. But let's take a closer look at this. All right, let's Eagles starting pitcher season ERA is 3.69 and 4.66 against Kia, but that really doesn't tell us much here. He has a winning record for the season on league wide of 7-4, which is good. And this is probably why the Eagles are favored. I mean, we look at this guy. Is this a Japanese pitcher in the KBO? That sounds like a Japanese name. Weird, but his win-loss record is 2-3. Can it be any more obvious where we should be betting? If we just went off of this, is like the Eagles, but we got to keep on going because I think yesterday we kind of rushed it. Like today, we're just gonna take our sweet time, and because ultimately the goal is to win money, and if it takes us to make a longer video and kind of like explore every angle, like we're gonna do that because like I hate losing. So 7.36 ERA against the Eagles, which is pretty abysmal. And then like league wide, his 2-3 win-loss record, so sub 500, and a 5.17 ERA for the season, which is terrible. I mean, all right, let's just compare these guys and see what the Yeah, I mean, it can't be this simple. I mean, it almost feels like it's a trap. But let's take a look at the. I mean, we know what we got with him. He's looks like he's an above average pitcher, so I don't think we need. Well, let's just take a look. So his last three starts against the Heroes, we can't really take this much because the Heroes are the last place team, and I think the Landers are the second to the last place team. So two bottom of the barrel teams right here. So I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not. So to the Heroes, well, that's not good. He gave us seven, like against the Heroes, he gave us 7 runs, 7 hits, and two of these runs were like home runs to the last place team. So this is like a red flag here. And this on the 17th, so this is like recent. And then against KT Wiz, which is a really good team, I think. He gave up 2 runs, 6 hits. So it's like he performed really good against a good team, and kind of like really recent collapse against the worst team in the league. There's kind of volatility there. And then he went 5.5 innings. Looks like he averaged around 5 innings per game against the Landers. He gave a 1 run, and then out of give up 6 hits, but only give up 1 run. So like 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But the problem with this is that the bad game he had, maybe just having a bad game, I don't know, was like so recent. These two games are like back in July 2nd and June 26th, and these are really good. But his worst performance was just like like a few days ago on the 17th. So that's kind of a red flag. Let's take a look at the Tigers pitcher. All right. I mean, just like the initial like visual on this guy, it just says that he's not good or below average. So against the Landers, he did pretty good. 3 runs from 5 hits. It didn't give up a home run or anything. And then so he actually did a pretty decent job on the 17th. So I mean, but the Landers aren't that great of a team either. So, but and then looking back, the Dinos, he gave up four runs and 4 hits, no home runs. And then the Doosan Bears, which is Doosan, the Dinos and the Doosan Bears are pretty good teams. He only gave up 1 run and like 3 hits. So this record is actually pretty good, which is a contrast to his season ERA of 5.17. So wow, so it's kind of like looking. Let's compare this to see what the. But I mean, his recent form is not bad. But this is a red flag. This is a red flag. But it's not that much worse than this guy's whip. But the really big thing is that his 2-3 win-loss record, like he's not a winning pitcher, but he is at home. So, um, you know, I'm not gonna overthink it, and I think we've pretty much. I don't know what else we need to look at in this game. Um, Starter. Hold on a second. Let's run deep. Those Tigers. So, um, I think, I mean, the Eagles recently just broke a 4 game losing streak. So, um, 7-3 was that from today. Yeah. So they won today. But before this morning, they were on a 3 game losing streak. And then current betting lines. So momentum wise, they're pretty good, and they have an above average pitcher. I mean, but his recent performance was not, kind of gives me a queasy feeling. But other than that, like, all signs are pointing to the Eagles. I mean, obviously, Hard Rock thinks the Eagles had the best chance of winning, making them favorites at -120. Uh, and then, and I think that we were riding pretty good with the Tigers for a while, but I think they're in a slump right now, even when they're at home. So, we're not gonna overthink it. Um, I think we just gonna the player day is gonna be the Eagles at -120. That's where I'm gonna put my money. And before I go, I'll give you my leans. And like I said yesterday, these are just like quick takes on these leans. Like, I am not putting any money on these leans. So I'm just giving you additional info in your handicapping. Use it, like, if it helps you make a decision on the game, but please don't follow the leans as gospel. They're just like quick takes. Um, I think the Lions win here. I mean, number one team going on the last place team, like, uh, but like, yeah. So I think they win. I'm not gonna, here Dinos and the Twins. Obviously, the Twins are like strong favorites. What did we say about this? Let me take a look at this. I know I should be ending this, but I don't know why I'm doing this much for a lean. But yeah. I think I said it was like competitive. I mean, it's going to be a competitive game. Um, there is no value. I mean, there's 2 foreign imports, so these are probably like ex MLB players. Like, let me, Chris, like his recent, yeah, he's actually pretty decent. So I think the value in it, if you were gonna, like, I was gonna play this, which I'm not. I think the value would be the dinos, because, like, oh yeah, like, look at this guy, like, Wells, 717 against the Wiz. He gave up 6 runs on 6 hits and 2 home runs. Yeah, like, I probably, the value here is probably on the dinos, if that would be my lean. And then I'm not even gonna take a guess on this. Like I said yesterday, we should have passed on. Like, 2 garbage teams. Like, we don't even need to go into details. Doosan Bears and the Wiz. Um, what was let me run something real fast. Run KBO. Wiz and Bears. I think the value in this one, it would be the KT Wiz. Let's see it. Or actually, on that, I mean, -150 with the Bears. Like, all right, I swear I don't know why I'm doing this, because it's just like wasting time. But if this helps somebody decide on this game, I, I'll do it. Oh, is it being canceled? Oh, or where is it? Oh, here. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, let's compare the ERA wise. So Yeah, I mean, they have pretty decent pitchers. The Bears starter does have the edge, but let's take a look a bit closer on that. Logan Webb. Yeah, no, KT Wiz. Yeah, his two shitty teams here, and then he did pretty good recently against the Twins. So like gave a 1 run and 5 hits, and going against the Bears, he gave up 4 runs and 7 hits and 2 home runs against um NC Dinos, and then I mean he got the job done against the two worst teams. So this doesn't say anything. So this is what we um yeah, I'm gonna go with my gut, and I would say that if I was gonna bet this game, which I'm not, I think I would go for the value play. Um, since the both pitchers are pretty decent. If I was gonna do the K2s, I probably would have take the run line plus 1.5 at minus 140. If that would be the lean. Um, I think this should be a pretty decent game between two good teams. So I would take this here if I was. All right, guys. I'm sorry. We kind of like went off the path a little bit. Again, to recap, the play of the day is the Eagles money line minus 120. Hopefully we bounce back and we'll wake up to a winner tomorrow. Later, guys.